The money you send up every year in terms of income taxes and sales taxes, remember I said you put it into a general fund. Okay, that's what we have. And so here's how the process starts. Every January, the Board of Economic Advisors, which is a bunch of economists that are hired by the state, they let us know in the General Assembly how much money is in the general fund that we can spend for that coming fiscal year. And so this year in January, we were told by the Board of Economic Advisors we had $12.5 billion to spend. Now that's not local money. It's not federal money that comes down that's administered by the state. Those are purely state dollars. Okay, so I'm talking about state dollars and state appropriations. You started out with $12.5 billion being certified. Now, remember what I said right off the top, we have to have 7% of that now put into a general reserve fund, right? And we have to have 3% right now taken off the top and put into a capital reserve fund. That's the very first thing I talked about. So right off the top, $715 million was taken and put into the general reserve fund, and $390 million was put into the capital reserve fund. So right off the top, that's the first thing we do. The second thing we do is we pay for the property tax relief that was provided back in 2007. Now, I wasn't in the General Assembly in 2007. I was still Governor Sanford's chief of staff at that time. But here's what that law did. It's Act 388. And what it said was this. The General Assembly passed a law taking away local government's ability to tax primary residences for school operating costs. Took that away because they wanted to provide property tax relief for homeowners. What it then said was we're going to raise the sales tax from 5 to 6%, and that's going to generate about $1 billion a year. And we're going to take that $1 billion, counties, and we're going to distribute it downward to you to hold you harmless for taking away your ability to tax primary residences for school operating costs. Okay, so it was a tax shift. It gave property tax relief to primary residences by taking school operations off of their tax bills, but you increase the sales tax 5 to 6% statewide to create the revenue stream to hold the counties harmless. Now, but what's happened since 2007? Well, there's been more homes that have been built, right? And so there are more homes that counties can't tax to pay for school operations. And so there's a need to give them more money to hold them harmless for having taken away that right. And so this year, right off the bat, in addition to that initial $1 billion, we had to supplement it with $795 million from the general fund that gets distributed down to the counties, again, to hold them harmless for the property tax relief that was given in 2007. So you can see right off the top, the $12.5 billion that was certified, the very first appropriations are $715 million in the general reserve fund, $390 million of capital reserve fund, $795 million to pay for this property tax relief. We haven't spent any money on services or things like that yet. We've done reserves and tax relief.